Welcome to King County at your service. I'm Brooke McConaughey. Many new lawyers in our region are sworn in inside Seattle's King County Courthouse. Now, these new attorneys will see a reminder of those who spent careers serving their communities.
I'm Judge Jim Rogers, King County Superior Court. Many of you have heard or read that during the COVID-19 pandemic, our court, like many courts across the United States, went virtual over Zoom as a public health measure. And thanks to the efforts of many employees at Superior Court and the Department of Judicial Administration, we kept access to justice open. We tried more jury trials and hearings of all types than any other court in the United States of America during the 2020 to 2021 time period. And now we've done some redecorating. We have large TV screens in all of our courtrooms. Lawyers and litigants, when they do come in person, will be able to plug in their laptop. They'll be able to show witnesses over Zoom, and hearing or trial exhibits can be displayed for the jury who'll be in person. And all of these changes that we've done, they have brought you, our retired judges and staff, to mind. Your work to ensure access to justice before we came to work here over the past decades made us a national leader. We are dedicating a new display memorializing many of you who have served.
I think history is important. I think knowing where we've been, knowing where we are, gives us a sense of where we're headed. And to me, this is the legacy of the court. I've wanted to do this for years. And then after I retired, I decided, it's got to happen. Jim said, that's a great idea.
I feel honored that he selected me to be part of this. And the first pictures he showed me were out the back wall behind the bench up here. And we just took a bunch of pictures as close as we could and tried to mimic the dimensions for height, width of columns, and how many flutes, and all the little details. It's white oak, quarter sawn white oak.
Nancy Ann Holman right here, 1970. And if you look at the panel, one of the things it shows you is the progression. Like we were talking about, where's the first female judge up there, 1970, and then you see the progression of female names cropping up along the way. Knowing who's on that panel makes a difference. When I was in law school, I had no idea that I would end up on the bench. And I'm hoping that when people get sworn in this courtroom and they walk by it, they might take a minute to sort of look at it and maybe think, maybe I want to do that someday. If you get good people doing public service and the public recognizes them as good, trustworthy people with integrity, then they're going to put their trust in that institution. And when it comes to the court, that's even more important than anywhere else.
Addiction. It devastates lives and families. But here's the story of a young mother who was able to recover and regain custody of her son with the help of Family Treatment Court. Now, she works with other families in the dependency system. The program is called Parents for Parents.
He's a little shy, but when he warms up, he's a pretty good kid. Like he loves the outdoors. He loves skateboarding, basketball, just anything outdoors. We've always been pretty close. Like it was really hard for him when he went into foster care. It started out like me and my husband and my kids became homeless. Drugs was a big part of our life. We tried to raise our kids even though we were addicts, but a big part of it was just being homeless. We didn't have anywhere to turn. We didn't know what to do. When CPS came involved in our life, they knew drugs were part of our past. So that's when my son was taken. He was taken from school, that was heartbreaking, sending him to school and then there's no more AJ anymore. He had a behavior problem, was kind of acting out, but I knew that it was because he was away from me. So that was like one of my biggest motivators to getting him back, is that I know that he'll be back to his old self and being comfortable and happy, and that behavior problem will no longer be there, and that's exactly how it is now. It took me about a year and a half, 2 years before I even got my life together. I went to inpatient twice, outpatient several times, but mental health was a big part of it too. So when I got my mental health in order, along with my addiction in order, life is a completely, totally different life. I remember my interactions with the Parents for Parents team, and it was like a warm feeling knowing that they have been through the same thing, and if they could do it, I could do it. I love recovery. I live in recovery. I work in recovery. I do chairing meetings. Everything about recovery. Starting in this way, I can at least work with the parents to help them. They do start feeling more comfortable knowing that we went through the same thing that they're going through right now. Have faith in the program and knowing that anything and everything can be fixed. It's an awesome feeling. My son goes to meetings with me periodically, and all my kids are very supportive in my sobriety. He tells me all the time how proud he is. I'm happy, healthy. It's a life I didn't ever think I would ever have.
It's one of the most beautiful old buildings in our region, and now it's preserved for the future. The community came together to reimagine and rehabilitate the grand old St. Edward's Seminary on Lake Washington.
When I looked at this project originally, I knew it was something special because you're on Lake Washington, you're in this magnificent park, and yet you're only 25 minutes from downtown Seattle. In the 1920s, Bishop O'Day from the Archdiocese of Seattle was looking for a place to build a seminary. By a stroke of God's will or magic or just good fortune, he ended up getting an inheritance, so he bought the land.
St. Edward's State Park is like iconic facility, public facility, and the seminary was always this kind of silent bystander.
Demolition by neglect. That's what we were observing. This building was being demolished bit by bit by bit by our neglect.
And so just to watch this deterioration over the years was really distressing.
What were we going to do?
As time progressed, as different people came forward wanting to do something, I would get hopeful. When Kevin Daniels came and his group, it was really apparent they were going to do something.
So the building that we inherited, while very run down in certain places and a lot of water damage, this building was built out of solid concrete, including the roof, to last 1,000 years.
What you see now is this grand lodge with all of the fantastic architectural pieces that were here from the original seminary, captured and maintained in this space. I had no idea that ultimately in my lifetime it would turn around and become something like it is now.
I got to tour it at the worst. I got to tour it when it was completely stripped inside, and I've got to stay in the facility since it was completed. It has been a wonderful experience to see it from beginning to end.
Two things that I really love. One of them is Mother Nature, and the other is what we can do to preserve history in a way that enhances all of ourselves today and prepares for the future. This is the spot where that happened.
When people walk through and happen to look at this wall next to me, the Hall of History, they get transported back, remembering the people who came before. If I was to be fully honest, I did not envision what we ended up with. There was a lot of talented people that took a little teeny mustard seed of an idea and blew it up into this magnificent project that we have today. That's just really enjoyable, and to know that you're leaving something behind that will be its own legacy, but also your legacy, is a lot of fun too.
King County has a long history of farming and agriculture. Are you curious what farming life used to be like? Check out the Jubilee Farm south of Carnation. It's a local landmark.
The Ungerer Farm Hay Barn Complex is the historic core of the 193-acre Jubilee Farm located in the Snoqualmie River Valley just a few miles south of Carnation. Historic features of this property include a 1957 hay barn, a 1962 loafing shed, and a machine shed, all reflecting broad changes in agricultural practices following World War II. In 1989, Eric and Paula Hawkinson purchased the 106-acre Ungerer Dairy Farm, renaming it the Jubilee Farm. Jubilee Farm now operates as a biodynamic farm, generating its own fertility through composting animals, cover cropping, and crop rotation. It offers a wide range of nutritious vegetables, fruit, meats, and flour milled on site and available on open market days at the farm. Family-oriented events are hosted throughout the year, including the ever-popular Harvest and Pumpkin Tours and the holiday Mercantile, which is held in Pete Ungerer's 1957 hay barn, the beloved heart of this farm. Our heartfelt thanks to the Hawkinsons for their stewardship and innovative farming operation, which is keeping this historic farmstead a commercially viable and well-loved community resource.
Here's a story you might get a charge out of. There are now 2 new electric vehicle charging stations in Seattle's Othello neighborhood. The idea? To provide wider access to electric transportation.
This is a very special day for South Seattle, a package of changes to transition us into a cleaner future. We all know we're in a climate crisis, and especially in neighborhoods like South Seattle, in Othello, where we are right now, climate injustice runs rampant. You know, people get sick from pollution, people suffer the consequences of being exposed to the elements because they don't have affordable housing. Electric charging in combination with things like dense, affordable housing, expanded public transportation, these are the things that are gonna help protect our climate and protect our communities. First, people have to find out that these charging stations are here, and then we're going to start seeing a sea change where a station like this is going to get a lot more activity. This is my old neighborhood.
Thanks for joining us for King County at your service. Visit us online at kingcounty.gov/KCTV. See you next time.